Okay, greetings to everybody. Welcome to another week, another session of Dhamma discussion, question and answers. So we'll start with Felicia Chan. Felicia, you ready?
Good evening, Ajahn. Today no question. Anurmodana Sadhu.
Okay. Nannapat from Bangkok.
No question ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ just listening in ค่ะ
Okay. Kok Seng from Singapore.
Yeah, John, just maybe just 2 comments. I find that this morning when I wake up, I was a bit lazy and did not wake up as I set my alarm at 6 a.m. Then when I reflect on it, I realized that sometimes I can be very enthusiastic. I'll wake up or even before 6 a.m. my alarm clock. Then sometimes I can be lazy. So I find that there is this lack of consistency. Yeah. So there's just one comment. Yeah.
You have to keep disciplining yourself. You have to have discipline.
Okay.
Try to set up schedule and stick to the schedule, whether you feel like doing it or not. And the thing that's really important is to develop mindfulness. Because once you have mindfulness,
Yes.
strong mindfulness, you'll have the strength to push through. You keep disciplining yourself. You have to turn off you have to turn off your sound on your computer. Okay, it's a feedback. All right. So mindfulness and persistence in your practice. You have to keep on pushing. Don't let your feelings be the one to decide when to do or not to do. You have to use schedules, resolutions. When the time for you to wake up, get up. And whether you like getting up or not, you just get up. When it's time for you to meditate, you have to meditate whether you like it or not. Eventually you will persevere and you will be the master of yourself, not the emotion that is running you now. Okay, so try to develop more mindfulness. And then your mind will become stronger. And it can go over the emotion, the feeling. Okay.
My practice. Thank you, Ajahn.
Yok Bay from New York. Yok Bay. Go ahead.
Good evening, Brother Ajahn. I would like to thank you for the Dhamma teaching, and also I would like to thank you, Felicia Chan, all the time. She teaches me a lot of things. And today I have 2 questions today. And we are all the friends and suffering with the COVID. So what if we have to do for so far now?
Do what?
No, there's the other Omicron, the disease coming soon, and we all the economy will be shut down in so many states and for that.
Yes. So what do you want to do?
So what we have to do for this moment?
Just stay calm and just face it, because there's nothing else you can do. So why jumping all over become worried or afraid? Just stay calm and The mind is not the one who's hurting. See, it is the body, and the body doesn't complain if it's gonna get sick. The mind doesn't get sick, and it's the mind that wants to complain. See, so you have to calm the mind, stop it from complaining, stop it from worrying, because it's not the one who is affected by the virus. It is the body, but the body doesn't care. It doesn't know anything, so it doesn't know it is gonna be attacked by the virus. So you have to understand who is who. The body is the one who is gonna get hurt, but the body doesn't care because the body doesn't know anything. The mind who knows isn't the one who is being attacked. The mind just watching the body. So be a doctor to your body. Just look at your patient. Your body is like your patient. You try to look after it as best as you can. But if it's beyond your control, then you just have to let it be. So should your body be infected with the virus, there's nothing you can do, the mind can do. And for the mind to be upset or to be disturbed doesn't change anything. So we try to tame the mind to let go of the body and look after it while you can. But if you cannot, then you just have to let it be. Okay.
Okay. Then the next question is because we are getting old. If I could not get the Sudabana, I still can go to the heaven.
Yes, if you keep the 5 precepts and do charity.
Okay, thank you, President.
Okay. So do charity now. Give away things that you don't have to keep. Then you'll be guaranteed a place in heaven.
Yeah, I will promise. Thank you. Thank you.
But you must keep the precept also. You cannot break the precept. Okay.
Okay.
Because if you break the precept, you will have to go to a lower realm of existence. Even though you might have given a lot to charity, charity itself doesn't guarantee your place in heaven. Yeah. Doesn't prevent your mind from going lower. It's your precept that will protect your mind from going lower. And it's your charity that is the one that will push your mind up higher. So you have to do both. Keep the precepts and give to charity. The more you give, the higher you'll go up in the ladder of happiness.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Karen from San Jose.
Good morning from San Jose, Tanajan. I have no questions. I'm listening.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're not working anymore, right? Are you?
No, it's funny. When I found the Dhamma, I was already retired, and I actually, unless things happen differently with the government, I don't have to worry about money or food or housing or anything. It's a very small amount, but I'm fine. I'm safe. And I don't have all of these things to worry about and no family to worry about. I have a dog still. I got rid of the fish. But so I can't. She's so old and she's getting sick. I don't really want to give her away. So I've made the commitment to take care of her until she dies. But my life will be easier as far as meditating when I no longer have a dog. It's funny. I had kept myself so busy with things to be happy. That's like what our culture says, to be busy, keep busy, be social. And all of that always really stressed me out. So I'm always so relieved when you say like, stay away from people, get rid of hobbies. I'm like, yay, that works for me. So, but I still struggle with, I've been getting rid of more and more hobbies and things that keep me busy. But now I'm to the point where I read fiction books still, because if I do nothing, it just feels so weird. I'm slowly getting rid of these things, but I still, and plus it just feels like my mind gets so tired still of fighting, trying to stay mindful. It still feels like so much work that sometimes I just want to read a book for a while.
Why don't you read your breath instead? It's much better. It's much easier.
When you said the resolution, I'm going to try that as
read your breath. Every time you want to read a book, read your breath instead.
See, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm making a resolution as of the first of the year. I think, okay, I'm gonna slowly read less and less, but as of the first, that's my resolution. I quit smoking, I quit drinking, I quit all kinds of. I eat way less. I've lost a lot of weight, but I still do that little one thing left.
Yeah, good for you. That's a good New Year resolution. Try to slowly get rid of all your hobbies or your sensual pleasures, and switching for the spiritual pleasure.
Yeah, there's like I still kind of teeter on the difference or the balance between it being a relief to not have all of these extra things to keep my mind busy, and feeling wrong. It's just so different,
Yes, what you want is to stop your mind from being busy. You want it to rest.
Yeah,
but it's better to rest the mind than keep it busy.
Yeah, and I can feel that, and I can see that is going to be the answer. But my mind is for 65 years has been doing this old thing, and it's still a bit of a struggle for me. But anyway, I'm so happy that your teachings are just so simple and clear. I have to say that I think because of our culture in the West that we do tend to still kind of stick to that, wanting to intellectualize everything. And so your teachings being just so simple, it's just been such a relief for me. It just, I think that's what I need anyway.
That's good. Okay, good
Thank
to
you.
hear. All right, keep it up.
Thank you.
Okay, next to Gavin. Gavin from Vancouver, Washington.
Hello, Ajahn. I don't have any questions today. Thank you.
Okay, Siddhartha from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any questions today. Thank you.
Okay, Anuragji from New Zealand.
Hi, good evening, Ajahn.
Can hear you okay? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ajahn. Thanks for your teaching, Ajahn. I don't have any questions today.
Okay.
Listening in. Yeah, thank you.
Get Yen So from Penang, Malaysia.
Ajahn, so far okay, no question. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Alfredo Ubeka from Brazil.
Hi, Bante.
Hi.
How are you?
Still okay? Still happy?
Yes, the year is finished, is ending, is finished. Yesterday,
a new year is coming.
Yes, the dreams to Buddhist is very big, heights dreams, Bante. High levels. But the dream is possible, no, Bante?
What is possible?
Is the dream possible, Bante? The Buddhist dreams.
What do you mean by possible? Dream is possible.
High levels, né, Bante? Sotapana, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahante.
Yes. This is no dream. This is real. Once you have it, you can keep it. See? If there are dreams, then when you wake up, then it's all gone, right?
Oh yes.
But you can keep this. They are real. Whether you're dreaming or not, whether you're sleeping or you're waking, you will always be a Sotapanna. Once you are a Sotapanna, you will never lose it.
Yes.
And the same with the other three, Sakidagami, Anagami, and Arahant. Once you have reached that stage, then you can keep it forever. Only when you move up higher, then you give up the lower and get the higher one instead.
Yes.
The rest of everything else in this world are like dreams. You get it and one day you lose it. Because nothing in this world lasts. When you leave this world, you don't take anything with you. You don't take your house, you don't take your brothers and sisters, your husband or your wife, your son or your daughters, your money or anything.
Yes.
But if you have a Sotapanna, you take it with you.
Yes. Is more not soft. It's more dur, né, Bante? It's more.
Yeah, it's forever.
Like a stove.
Long lasting.
Yes.
Eternally.
The trainment that you receive to Ajahn Mahaboa to not thinking is to have a goal and not change. Is the message, Bante?
Yes. If you can stop thinking, then you can get rid of your sufferings. Your suffering comes from your thinking. When you think about money, you start to worry about money. When you think about the virus, you start to worry about the virus. When you meditate, you stop thinking, then you forget about the virus, you forget about the money. Then you're happy.
Yes. It's more objective trainment, né, Bante?
It's stopping the mind from creating suffering.
Yes.
We are creating our own suffering, not because of the money or the virus. It's our thinking that creates suffering.
Yes. Yes. In Bante Nandicena do Argentina has teaching me that the mind always have an object. In Abhidhamma, the mind always have object, né? Então it's very important not thinking. For the mind is all creating thinkings. If you not stop thinking, the mind create, né?
You have to stop it. You have to stop the mind, because that's the only way to get to happiness, real happiness, to peace and happiness and contentment.
Yes.
Sometimes we thought that we can get contentment by accumulating many things, but the more you get, the more you want more. Instead of being content, you end up wanting more. You'll never be contented with what you get. It's only when you give away everything, that's when you get contentment. When you don't want anything, that's when contentment comes.
Okay,
Okay?
thanks,
Sadhu. Stay ubeka, okay? Stay.
Thanks, Bante, thanks.
Okay.
Good days for you.
Okay. Next, Philip and Adeline.
Good evening, Bante. Don't have any questions tonight.
Okay, Johanna from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Today I don't have any question, but I want to say thank you for writing the book Beyond Birth. The book is really an inspiration. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. You have finished reading the book already?
Not. I'm still reading it, Ajahn.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. I have I just read 40 something pages, but I have so many inspiration already in every aspect of it.
Yeah, the book will be printed next month, I think. They'll print the book next month, and anybody who would like to get a copy can let one of our assistants know, and we'll arrange to send it to you somehow.
Oh, yeah, that's really great.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have any question?
So far, no question. Maybe later, Ajahn.
I also heard that you sent some donation also, but we haven't yet received it yet. I think it will take a few days.
Actually, it's just some extra money I get this month, so I want to spare some portion of it for donation.
Okay, thank you for your generosity.
You're welcome, Ajahn.
All right. No question from you tonight.
Maybe later, Ajahn. Right now, no
Okay.
question.
All right. I go to Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. No questions from me for tonight.
Okay. And we go to Charles Chung from Bangkok. Charles, are you Thai or are you Chinese? Sorry if I asked your nationality. Where are you now? I think you've gone. You went out of the screen here. I can't find you. I think you must be off. Come back in, okay? We'll get to you when you come back.
Unmute.
Okay.
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 Sorry, Ajahn. Operation error. I am actually a Hong Kong, stay in Thailand for almost 30 years already. This is my first time to join this, but in fact, I watched a few videos on YouTube and quite impressed. That's why recommended by my friend. I very happy to join the Zoom meeting with everyone. Yeah, I'm a Buddhist. Basically, I practice Buddha teaching.
Do you have any question you like to ask?
I prepare 2-3 questions. One question related to the sharing merit. Okay, sharing merit, right? My experience with friends is that we can share a merit after an activity, like after meditation, after a retreat, or after donation, etc. But my friend also share merit by accumulated merit. That means she like to refer to my merit accumulate from many lives, right? And I will share with everyone. So my question is, what's the difference when you share a merit, right? Dedicate a merit to the deceased or something, based on what we just have done, or accumulated? In what's the difference, and in what circumstances we use the one way or the other?
I think some of these ideas about sharing merit has been overblown by people's imagination. Because if we study the text, the Buddha mentioned about sharing the merit by charity, by dana, by giving something away to somebody. And when you do this, you get good feelings in your heart. And this is the good feeling that you can share with the departed. But not the accumulated merit that you don't know where it is already, and it's no longer appearing in your heart at all. So you have to have something fresh, something new. Like if you donate some money to some charity, you feel happy, you feel contented. This is what you can share with the departed. But as far as the other types of merit, it is difficult because like meditation, you haven't yet realized the result. You cannot share anything from your meditation yet. Or keeping the precept, because you're not keeping the precept perfectly. Sometimes you break the precepts. So the only way that for lay people to share merit is by doing some form of charity. That's what the Buddha told the king who had some dreams, some nightmare or something, and he wants to know what it is. And the Buddha said it's the spirit of one of his attendants in the past who seek your help, seek his help. So the way to help this person, this spirit, is to give some charity, give to charity, and then you can then share this feeling of good feeling that you get from giving to the departed. That's the only mention in the text about sharing merit, not about meditation, not about precepts, not about becoming enlightened.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. I think interesting. I usually, when I do donation, I don't even think about anything. But I do meditation after I finish. I'll share with all being like that. Okay, yeah, Ajahn, I have another question.
What do you share when you finish meditation? Do you have any good feeling from your meditation?
I typically sit about 2-3 hours a day, and yes. I go to retreat quite often. I think there's an impact. I can, after I finish, right? Sometimes I have a long list, sometimes a short list. Sometimes I just like this morning, I share with everyone, right? I'm not really specific to any party, so it depends on my circumstances. But I never think about sharing my accumulated merit to anyone. So I just for this particular activity, I just share with everyone. That's all, you know. Okay, I understand, Ajahn, your suggestion. I will think about that. So when I do the donation, maybe I think about other people.
And you can only share it with the dead. With the living people, they have to do their own charity.
Yes, I know. But I do it in the when we do Sankirtan or in a temple only. But a normal donation, I don't really think so much. So Ajahn, I have another question about mirror as well. As I mentioned, right, let's share mirror to everyone, right? But my friend told me, I'm really, I have curiosity about that. So she told me that when he shared the mirror to the Jogam living, right? And because some Jogam may not forgive her, right? Because it's too many, right? So when he shared them, right, they get more power to attack her or something like that. Basically, when we share with some Jogam, share with Jogam, they don't forgive my friend, right? We keep sharing, right? The Jogam have more power to attack her. Does it make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense at all.
Doesn't make sense. Okay.
When you say Jogam, it means you're someone that you have done something wrong to them in the past.
Yes, spiritual level, not human.
And they're out to get you.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can do is to ask for the forgiveness. And if they don't forgive, then you just have to, you have to wait for whenever they want to attack you or cause you harm. There's no way that you can use your merit to stop this.
Yeah, that's right. But my personal experience is I share with the Jogam, right, to settle it, right? But the question is, if the Jogam not agree to settle, to share with them may be a problem like that, right?
Yeah, Jogam is your enemy, you see.
Yeah.
The only way to deal with your enemy is you have to somehow make peace with your enemy if you can. That's the only way then they will start coming after you. But they might want to extract something from you for them to have peace.
But when we just share the Jogam as a general, right? So including those forgive you, those not forgive you, is a risk. Is risky for doing that?
It's useless. It's just useless. It doesn't produce any result.
Okay. Yes. Okay, then I have one more question about the practice, right? in the modern management, right? We always think about management by objective or setting a target or setting goals when we're doing things, right? So when we practice meditation, practice particular walking meditation or meditation, can we set a target? For example, when I do walking meditation, one round in 3 minutes, right? So in 3 minutes, I have, let's say, 5 thoughts coming interrupt during that 3 minutes. Can I set a target that, okay, by next week, I will reduce it to only 2 thought interruption. For example, in a meditation, I can sit for 5 minutes without interruption. I can set a target. Okay, within 3 months, I will have 7 minutes or 10 minutes without interruption. Can we set a target in the condition that, based on Buddha teaching, we don't attach to the success or failure, but we set a target, we try to do it. If it's success, it's okay. If not success, it's okay. Setting a target, is it a good idea when we are practicing? This is a question.
In Buddhism, we set a target not on the byproducts, but on the doing to get to the byproducts. You know what I mean? Like if you want to stop thinking, then you have to use mindfulness. So you should set up the target at mindfulness, not at the end product. You say, I have to be mindful all the time. Once I'm mindful, then I can stop thinking. See? So this is what we have to set up our resolution at the cost, not at the result. The result comes after the cost, right? Like making money. You say, I want to have 1 million by the end of this year, for instance. You can just set up the target and not doing anything, right? You have to do the thing to get to the money, right? That's what you want to set up your target is, I have to keep working. I have to keep earning money in order for me to get to my target of 1 million baht.
Oh, in the business world, setting a target is like a motivation. It's like setting a direction. So we motivate.
Yeah, we have a goal, but you have a goal, but you have to know how to get there. That's the point.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say, and that's what you have to do is to get there. See, not just setting the goal and then not doing anything about it.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
So the argument is that when we set a target, it's kind of attached.
We all Buddhists have one target. That is the Nibbana. That's our target. And the Buddha said, in order to get there, you have to practice charity, keep the precepts, and meditate. So this is our primary target is to give to charity, to practice, to keep the precept, and to meditate. These are our real target. Once we have this thing achieved, then we'll get to Nibbana automatically. That's the consequence.
So my understanding is a qualitative target, not quantitative target, not the specific number and all these things, right? So, okay, thank you.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Is that all for today?
I will prepare more questions next time.
Okay, or even maybe later. We might have some more time left. You can ask if you like.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Next, Rusli from Indonesia. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, Rusli first. I'll go back to what some other people will have skipped. Okay, no question from you. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go back to Sui and check because Sui and check from Vancouver, Canada.
Ajahn.
Any question from you?
Ajahn, I don't have question, but my friend would like to ask you a question. Is it she said, can you what is the rule on monks handling money? Can they have bank account and can they log in and transfer?
Yes, because as long as the monks don't keep the money in his presence. If it's kept at somebody else, then when he needs it, he can ask for it. And the bank can be served as somebody who can look after the money for him. And when he wants to withdraw the money, he can just withdraw. So yes, a monk can have a bank account and can do money transfer. Like we have in modern time now, you have mobile transfer on your phone. You can just log into your account and then just say how much money you want to withdraw or deposit, whichever the case may be. This is allowable. So long as you don't keep the cash in yourself and carry the cash with you and go to a store and buy things by yourself. This is not allowed. Well, you have to understand also that the rule was set up during the time when there was no internet banking or anything like this. So we somehow have to interpret it. And this is how we interpret that it's okay because the bank is considered a trusted person that we can leave the money with. Okay, this is clear now?
Yes, Ajahn.
Tan Ajahn, like during the meditation, when I recite Buddha, and then like sometimes the happiness like from the body, like is quite intense and disrupt, so I'll have to ignore it.
No, the happiness doesn't come from your body. It comes from your mind. And that you also have to ignore because when you meditate, you want to reach your real goal. And the happiness that arises on the way isn't yet the real goal. So the real goal is emptiness and equanimity. That's where you want to get to. And happiness from emptiness.
Okay. So is there like a level of happiness when we recite Buddha until certain level?
Well, you do it yourself and find out for yourself. I cannot.
Okay.
It's not something I can explain, like eating, You're going to ask me which level of happiness you get from eating. I don't know. Just eat and you'll find out for yourself. Until you find out, oh, I'm full, then you stop eating. You want to get to the full. Even though when you first start eating, you're enjoying it, but you don't stop, right? You keep eating until you feel you can no longer eat. That's when you stop. Same way with meditation. You keep on watching the breath or reciting the mantra until you no longer could do it. That's when the mind reached its destination. It will stop by itself and become calm and peaceful and happy. So if you haven't yet reached that point, you have to keep on meditating. Keep on focusing on your meditation object. Like eating. When you first eat, you have a few bites and you say, oh, this is really good. Are you going to stop there or are you going to keep on eating more? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you meditate, you start to feel good. Don't stop. Continue on meditating. If you stop, then this feeling good will disappear. And you're not getting anywhere further. But if you keep meditating, then eventually this happiness will disappear, but it will be replaced by something better. The happiness from peace of mind. And equanimity. So you want to get there. If you haven't got there yet, then you have to keep on focusing your attention at your meditation object.
Okay. So Tan Ajahn, sometimes if we cannot get there, so we will have to find a way to get there.
Well, you already know the way. You're just not doing it. That's all. You're not persistent enough. You just give up when you can no longer concentrate and you say, oh, I want to go do something else. And so you stop doing it. You have to continue on, keep on focusing on your breath or on your mantra. Don't stop until you get to your destination. But sometimes you're distracted by some other thing, maybe painful feelings, feeling of discontent, feeling uneasy or something. Then you feeling uncomfortable, so you wanted to stop. You should ignore all these feelings and just keep focusing on your mantra or on your breath. And then eventually all this discomfort, this painful feeling will disappear or will not bother you. Because your mind becomes calmer and calmer. The calmer your mind becomes, the less distracted and less disturbed your mind will be by other things. But when you first started, your mind is not yet concentrated enough, so it can be distracted easily. So you have to be persistent in keeping with your focusing on your concentration. Don't pay attention to anything that appears. Sometimes it's not the unpleasant thing, but it's the pleasant thing that can distract you. Even the pleasant thing you don't want to be distracted by. You want to keep focusing, concentrating on your meditation object. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Monica and Fong Sin.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Any question from you or your daughter? Sinyi? No question. Okay. Yes or no? I cannot hear you.
Oh, she has no question. But I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I read this Kamatana Mountain Dhamma. I read in one page when Lanta Mahua mentioned that for people who has a lot of thinking, there could be some level of samadhi, but with the thinking at the background. Is this possible? That's my question. And second thing is this type of samadhi a lower level, but without equanimity?
I don't understand your question. Can you repeat again?
Oh, okay. This one is I read in this book, Kamatana Mountain Dhamma. I think it's written by Ajahn. Okay, where Ranta Mahabhuva mentioned that for people who has a lot of thinking, there is they could achieve a certain level of samadhi, but with the thinking at the background. Is this possible?
This is what we call wisdom developed samadhi. See? The thinking has to be thinking about the three characteristics of existence. If you think about defilement, then you can never get samadhi from that. If you're thinking about making money, worrying about the virus, this will not calm your mind. But if you think about death is certain, sickness is certain, and you can accept this, then your mind can become calm. But it's a bitter medicine for a lot of people. They don't want to think about getting killed or die or getting sick. But for some brave people who has wisdom, they know that this is going to happen to them one day, sooner or later. So they teach your mind to accept it. Once they can accept it, then their worry or anxiety can be eliminated, and their mind can become calm. Just like the question from Yogbe earlier on, she mentioned about the virus and what to do with it. The best way is to accept it. See, welcome it. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my body. If you want to have it, take it. If I cannot stop you, what else can I do, right? If I resist, I only hurt myself. Right? If I accept it, then okay, I don't feel hurt. My mind can become calm and not agitated. This is what he means by thinking with wisdom, thinking with the three characteristics in the back of your mind. Whatever worry or anxiety you have, or restlessness you have about anything, you can use the three characteristics of existence to calm your mind down. Like your body or your relationship with your daughter, you worry that you might not live with her forever. Well, will you be with her forever or not? One day, sooner or later, you or her will have to separate. Whoever goes first, or both of you go at the same time. That's a possibility that will happen. Once you can accept this possibility, then your worry and your anxiety will disappear. Our worry and anxiety arise from our unaccepting, not want to accept the fact, the truth of impermanence.
Yeah, I think it's a concept that we built in because I watched your video where you have been interviewed by this two
bhikkhus from Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, and when Tan Ajahn mentioned that we are just a controller and our body is just a drone, I think that one is more realistic. Yeah, then I feel that if I die, at least my mind won't die with it.
No, your mind don't die.
Yeah, true. But all the while I thought if I'm a vehicle, I'm the driver with the vehicle. That if I got crashed, then the mind will die also.
You're not in the vehicle. You're not in the body. You are in another dimension called the spiritual world. The mind is in the spiritual world, connected by the stream of consciousness to the body. So when the body dies, then just the connection just terminates. So you cannot see, hear anything anymore. That's all. It's just like when you go to sleep.
Yeah, because I never perceived this way. Suddenly, when I say, "Oh, this is a controller," yeah, I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or the puppet master. Yeah, the body is like a puppet, and the mind is the puppet master, the puppeteer.
Okay, so that means just now coming back to the samadhi is because we are analyzing, the thinking is to analyze the three characteristics. So in that case, will there be any equanimity at that level?
You have, when you want to use analyzing, you have to have some form of problem, like agitation or restlessness or anxiety or suffering, which prevent you from meditating, cannot get your mind to calm. Then you use wisdom, the three characteristics to teach your mind that the object of your anxiety is impermanent, that you cannot prevent it from being destroyed or changed or anything. Yeah. If you can accept this, then your restlessness or your suffering will disappear. Then your mind becomes peaceful and calm in samadhi.
So that during that level, that point, is it a vipassana? Or is
yes,
it still...
it's what you call local vipassana. I mean, whenever you have suffering with something, you use wisdom to solve the problem, but it's just a local one, not the real vipassana one. The real vipassana is about letting go of the 10 fetters. This is the real the vipassana. But if you worry about money, for instance, am I going to have enough money to exist or not, for instance? Then you say, well, can you guarantee yourself that you can always have the money or not? If you cannot, then you cannot expect it. Then you have to accept, okay, maybe one day I'll go broke, become broke, and I'll starve to death, for instance. Okay, death is it. If that's the end anyway, right? We eventually have to wanna die. How we die might be different. We might die because we're broke, have no money to feed us. But we die. So when we accept that eventually the body is gonna die, then your suffering will disappear. Then your mind can become calm and peaceful, as if you are in samadhi. That's what we call this wisdom develops samadhi. But you need to have suffering in order to use wisdom. If there's no suffering right now, and you think about the three characteristics, it doesn't make any difference. It's like taking medicine. If you don't have fever, it doesn't make any sense for you to take any pain, any pill to take care of your fever, right? You only use medicine when you have sickness. So you use wisdom only when you have suffering, mental suffering. But if you contemplate on the three characteristics without any suffering, you're just merely doing the homework, preparing for yourself. Then eventually you will have suffering. Then you will know how to apply the three characteristics to solve your suffering, to get rid of your suffering.
So just now that Ajahn mentioned about local vipassana and real vipassana. So which is the one that can get us to really see the three characteristics?
Well, you use the three, they are under the three characteristics. They all have these three characteristics as their nature. See? And they're causing you dukkha because you want them to be permanent. See? You want them to be not impermanent. You want them to be permanent. You want to control them, but they are not always under your control. See? So when they are not permanent, they are not under your control, then they can cause you dukkha. Once you see this, then you say, okay, I can no longer expect them to be permanent. I can no longer control them. Then you just have to let them be. When you let go, then your mind will become peaceful. When you cling and you want to change, you want to take control, then you can become stressful.
So but the bottom line is to teach the mind to let go. Am I right?
Yes, and you do this by either first by mindfulness. This is temporarily letting go. When you stop your mind from thinking, you temporarily let go of your suffering, your attachment. But then when you come back to think, you can restart the process of attachment again. But if you use wisdom, once you see that attaching to this thing can cause you dukkha, then once you have letting go with wisdom, you will no longer be attached to that thing forever. Okay? All right. Is that all?
Yes, at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, next, Sajal Kar from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Thank you, Tanajan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, the answers that you are giving to Monica is very pertinent for me because I happen to have my daughter is like bipolar and suicidal, and a lot of the things that you actually was telling Monica about is actually directly applicable and kind of answers my questions. So I'm not going to go there because I think you already gave lots of things that what needs to be kind of lowering my expectations, so to speak, about from the reality and things. So I'm going to ask you a different question. That since I'm from India and the worshipping of the devas, and which loosely termed as the gods and goddesses, I mean, after I started Buddhism, and especially after I listened to you, I understand, or correct me if I'm wrong, that devas are actually spiritual beings, and and they are it could be at different realms, heavenly realms and stuff like that, but they are not beyond birth and death. That's the point number one. And when the folks, like for example in India, most of the people are Hindus, when they worship the devas of the loosely called as gods and goddesses, and they're expecting boons from them, that means they're asking for material gains and things like that. So my question is that these spiritual beings, if I'm correctly leveling them, then are they actually in a position to give material things if somebody kind of worships them day and night?
Yes, if they could give, India should be the richest country in the world. But India is the poorest country in the world because they worship devas. Because deva cannot make you rich. Only you can make yourself rich. That's why people go to America, because America gives you the dream that you can become rich.
So this is essentially, is it fair to say this is just superstition?
Delusion, not superstition. Ignorant. The Buddha said ignorant, avijja. And it happens in a lot of Buddhist people also. They think that they go to the temple to pray to the Buddha image, and then they can get whatever they want. See?
So like essentially, not just sheer stupidity, but wastage of time. A spiritual wastage of time, really, right? Not being on a path at all.
Can you say it again?
So this is like a wastage of time on
Yes,
the individual's part.
Yeah. No, the Buddha never taught this thing, right? Did he ever teach you to ask money from the devas, anything like that? The Buddha said, "Attahi atano nato." You are your own refuge. If you want to get rich, work hard. You'll get rich. Save money. Don't spend money. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Tanajan.
That's the problem with India. I don't mean to demean the country or anything like that. But that's why people just keep praying for richness, and they never got rich, right? They always remain poor.
But Tanajan, other than Buddhism, and I'm especially inclined to the forest tradition and all, but all other established religions, I mean, including Christianity, is also whereby you're praying, and that's actually a lot of times for the things that essentially is material, really, right? I mean, guaranteed way to the heaven in next life. Nobody can guarantee that. It's the karma, right? I mean, that as you tell us again and again and again, right? So I think unless we see it that way, again, kind of we're wasting time, and avijja and delusion is ruling our lives, right? So, but yeah.
Yeah, you only realize this when you study Buddhism. If you don't study Buddhism, you still think praying is the way to get what you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you,
Right.
Tanajan. That's all.
Next, Ricardo from Uruguay, I think, if I remember the country right? Right? From Uruguay?
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. Nice to see you again. And I just want to express our deep gratitude for all the teachings you have been given this year. Although I have not been all the time, but I've seen all the videos. And again, express my gratitude and all our community, our Uruguayan Sangha, that has a lot of gratitude again for your teachings and to spread the teachings of the Buddha. So no questions, plenty of and deep gratitude to you.
I'm happy to be of service to you.
We are happy to get in touch to you again.
Okay.
Thanks.
Nice to
Thank
see
you very
you.
much.
Okay. Maybe you might have some question later on. Okay.
All right.
I'll go to someone else next. Who else that on the screen that I haven't seen? Oh, Kenneth, Professor Kenneth from Switzerland. Hello, how are you? Finished teaching, huh?
Yes, finished. In fact, teaching for this year. Just
oh, finally.
Happily, yes. So I have no questions today, Ajahn. Just listening. Thank you.
Okay. Then Belinda from Singapore.
Thank you for just teaching.
No question. Okay. Margareta from Indonesia. Margareta.
Hello, Ajahn.
Any question?
I have some question. When I'm doing sitting meditation, the first thing is my focus in my breath, and then I keep saying Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. And then suddenly my mind switch, I wish everybody live happy. If in Indonesian I said that semoga semua makhluk hidup berbahagia, may all being happy, and then suddenly it's keep repeating in my mind, so I make it my focus into that, and then but suddenly it becomes so hectic, one by one all the person that I have ever met is appearing in my mind, so my mom, my brother, my sister, one by one I keep may my mom being happy, may my sister being happy, like that. It's become a long thinking, and then I think I already start distracting. So when it's happening, sometimes I just stop meditate and open my eyes, or sometimes I just try to keep back in Buddha Buddha, or is it better just let it flow like that? I don't understand.
No, you should not. You should stick to your meditation object.
Oh.
Either on the mantra Bhutto, 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 or watching your breath. Don't let other thing distract you from it. Stick to your meditation object, and everything will eventually disappear. If you pay attention and you go after it, then you will be sidetracked from your meditation practice, and you will not reach your goal that way.
Okay. And I do a little bit research about my dream also before, because I keep having a dream if I keep doing meditation or I'm doing practice. So I stopped 1 week without any practice and without any, I don't join the Zoom meeting also, and then I don't read anything about Dhamma, and then the dreams is stopped. But I still stop doing sitting meditation. But I do it's just become a habit. In my daily life, I will also always say Buddha, Buddha, or everything I think I'm already out of control, the emotion, because the work is so hectic and like that. And then I start reading a short in Ajahn Facebook, a short word like Dhamma thing like this. And then the dreams come again like that. But I just try to Ajahn suggestion, just make it we are having just having a clue, maybe. I don't know whether is it good to having like this.
Well, you should not worry about dreams. Dream is something that you cannot control, because when you go to sleep, you don't have any mindfulness. But you can make dreams to be good or bad by doing good karma or bad karma. If you do bad karma, you'll be having bad dreams. If you do good karma, you have good dreams. And if you meditate or if you practice mindfulness, you will have less dream. The more mindfulness, the more meditation you have, the less dreams you will have. So,
okay.
So
I'll try.
if you don't want to have any dreams, you have to develop mindfulness all the time. All
Yeah,
the time
because
you get
it's
up to the
become
time you go
tiring.
to sleep. Because dreams come from your thinking, from your thoughts. And if you have mindfulness, then your mindfulness will stop you from thinking.
Okay.
Then it will stop you from dreaming, even when you sleep, even if you don't have any mindfulness. But the effect of your mindfulness that you have during your waking hour can prevent your mind from dreaming, but not always. Sometimes you can still have dream, but not as much as before. You have mindfulness.
Okay, I'll try harder then.
Yeah. So the way to control your dream is to use mindfulness. And if you have to have dreams, try to have good dreams by doing good karma. Don't do any bad karma.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That is. I only want to ask about that.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Thank you, Ajahn.
do good karma, avoid doing bad karma, and meditate. Develop mindfulness. This is the formula that the Buddha prescribed in his teaching. Every Buddha teaches the same thing. Avoid doing bad karma, do good karma, and purify the mind, which is meditate with mindfulness.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Then your dream will be good dreams if you have dreams. And if you don't, then if you don't dream, you will have a calm and peaceful sleep.
Yeah, it's very hard to have a calm and peaceful sleep lately. Yeah.
Because you don't
Last
have
week,
mindfulness. Because you don't have
yeah,
mindfulness.
I think so. Because the work is so hectic. And last week I joined the meeting, but I turned off the video because I feel like but I only hear Ajahn voice like 5 or 10 minutes and then I fall asleep. When I wake up, the Zoom is already finished. So, yeah, maybe I'll try to practice harder.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
okay. Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Mandy from Canada, Niagara Falls.
Thank you, Ajahn. Always so grateful. I have 2 questions. I learned meditation from Lungpur Viryang Siriantharo here, and this is his first memorial after his death. Besides charity, precepts, meditation, mindfulness, during the memorial, is there anything else I can direct my thought towards besides in the chanting, like goodwill to him or something?
Well, he's a noble person already, and he doesn't need anything from you. So it's you who need more than he. So do it for yourself. And he said that if you do it for yourself, you are doing it for him also. This is what the Buddha said. Yeah. If you want to honor me, practice for yourself to become enlightened. Because the purpose of the Buddha and all the noble disciple teaching is to want us to become enlightened. So we shouldn't worry about doing anything for them. They want us to do things for ourselves. So meditate, keep the precepts. This is what you should be doing.
Okay. My second question is, during a Dhamma talk or a guided meditation, are we able to enter any of the jhanas?
It depends on how strong your mindfulness is. If you have strong mindfulness and your mind is not distracted by anything, then you can enter into jhana.
Okay, I see. Thank you, sir.
Is that all you have?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Do you practice alone or do you have to join in a group?
I do both, sir.
Oh, I see. And which one you find better for you?
Depending on the day. I definitely think that practicing in the group is more consistent.
Yes, because you cannot discipline yourself, so you need somebody else to help discipline you by joining a group. But eventually, when you advance further, you will find that once you can discipline yourself, you'll find it easier for you to practice alone.
Okay.
Because then you don't have to wait for other people. Anytime you feel like meditating, you can do it right away. So, but when you're starting, you don't have the discipline yet. So you might need somebody to help you discipline yourself. But as you advance, as you want to do more practice, then maybe you'll find that practicing alone is much more easier, because then you don't have to wait for anybody.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Next, Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question. I'm just listening in. Thank you.
All right. So it looks like we have everybody a chance to ask questions. I think now is the time for Facebook's question. Is there any question from Facebook tonight?
Yes, we have 6 questions from Facebook and YouTube. First question from Tony Yap. Why some of the Buddhist countries have nuns and some do not have nuns at all? Hope Ajahn can explain it. Thank you.
Well, according to, we have 2 traditions really, mainly the big 2 traditions, the Mahayana and the Theravada. Theravada believes that the succession of female ordination has been terminated, so it could not ordain any female anymore. Because in order to ordain a female, you need 2 sangha. You need the monk sangha and you need the nun sangha, the machi or bhikkhuni sangha. So once there is no bhikkhuni sangha in the Theravada tradition, we don't ordain any woman to become bhikkhuni anymore. But according to the Mahayana tradition, they said their line of succession was not disconnected. So they had continuous ordination, so they could continue on ordaining women as bhikkhuni. So this is the difference. So if you go to a country with Mahayana tradition, you can, if you are a woman, you can ordain as a bhikkhuni, as a nun. But if you come to Thailand, for instance, you will not be able to ordain as a bhikkhuni. You can only become a preceptor. Okay.
Yes. And 2 questions from the multiversal unity. Dear Ajahn, the first question is, the mind is mostly clear and empty from time to time, and the dukkha set in a little, and the wisdom came into its own function to contemplate and make understanding. And the question is, when and how we can know it's all empty and the job is done?
Well, when you have no dukkha caused by your defilement, then you know that then your work is done. But if you still have defilement, you still have cravings, you still have desire, and you still have stress, although it might not happen all the time, but if you still have it, then you know your work is not done yet. It's like your body, if you still have fever, then you know that your illness is not yet well, your body is not well yet. So you have to keep on taking the medicine until all the fever disappears from your body.
And the second question is, can we share merit, the happiness after jhana? Thank you.
Well, you can do it, I think, but it's your personal choice. If you have something to share, yes, you can share. But if you don't have, then you cannot share.
And next question from Tony Yap. Dear Panachan, as usual this morning, when I did Dana offer for monks community, first time I offer for Mahayana nuns. So is it the correct way of Dana offering to nuns when she is on her Pindapata? Thank you.
You can offer food or things to anybody who wants to receive. Doesn't matter whether it's a monk or it's a bhikkhuni or just a lay person. If they need food and if you can give it to them, then you can give to anybody and you can get the same merit. It doesn't matter who receive it.
And next question from Liu Yingming. Have two questions. The first question is, why do we perform the rites and ritual for doing puja every day? Adhering to the rites and ritual are obstacle to the attainment of Asotapana. Is it not? Thank you.
Well, some people, since they didn't study the teaching, so they might be taught by someone who doesn't really know. And then they are misguided. So that's why the Buddha said you have to trust the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. You have to take them as your guiding light. You have to study from them. Once you study from the Buddha, Dhamma, or the Sangha, then you will be taught the right information for you to apply to help you free yourself from suffering.
And the second question is, how can one strike balance between fasting and being a vegetarian? Thank you.
Well, you have to know it for yourself, whether you are you fast because you want to stimulate your practice. But if you fast too much, then your body can be affected, adversely affected. So you have to you have to watch your body also when you fast. If you fast too much, your body can get sick from not eating. So you have to watch when you do fasting.
Next question from Yapto. Namaste Ajahn. If we donate food like grapes and oranges to some monks, is it okay? Thank you.
If it's during time for eating, yes. But if you offer after midday, then this is not okay because monks cannot eat after midday. And monks cannot keep the food overnight for the next day. So in Buddhist tradition, we don't offer food after midday to monks. We offer something else like some other thing like fruit juices, something like that, something that a monk can take, can drink or eat. No food anymore after midday. And if you go to a forest tradition monastery, you don't even offer food even before midday if the monk finish eating, because the monk only eat once a day. But if you want to offer food, you can leave it with someone in the monastery, and then they can offer it to the monk the next day. But the monk himself cannot accept and keep the food for the next day.
Next question from To Tang Peng. Dear Ajahn, I would like to hear your advice. My situation is, my sister is sick, but she ignored my advice to her that she needs to live healthier life in order to recover better. My mind is out of equanimity now, and I am thinking to withdraw myself, just see it as that I am dead. Is this the way of handling in accordance to Buddha teaching? Thank you.
No, you look at the situation. If you can do something about it, then do it. If you cannot do it, then don't do it. If you can tell her to do what you want her to do, if she does it, then you tell her. But if you tell her and she doesn't want to do it, then you stop. That's all. There's no need to get angry or get sad when she doesn't do what you want her to do. It's not your business in the first place.
And next question from Yapto. Namaste, Ajahn. Asotapanna has removed 3 fetters: Sakayatitti, Vichikicha, Silapapramat. So how do we know a person or a monk has attained Sotapanna from the 3 fetters and daily habits?
You don't know unless they tell you. But even if they tell you, you're not sure whether they're telling the truth or not. So don't worry about the other person, whether they have become a Sotapanna or not. What's important is you yourself, are you a Sotapanna or not? You should ask yourself this question. If you're not, then you try to make yourself a Sotapanna. Not going after searching for a Sotapanna, because you'll never know which one is the Sotapanna.
And next question from Amon Panping. Dear Prajan Ka, so sorry for late questions Ka. Recently, I have encountered one person that has caused me relentless trouble. I observed that it is due to his or her unplanned and unstructured nature. I have tried to be compassionate and understand his or her nature. However, after a few years, I feel very tiring and suffering. Recently, I feel that my metta for this person has disappeared. However, I still feel that it is wrong that I can't be metta to everyone. Could you please kindly advise on how should I deal with this conflict feeling? Thank you.
You should lower your expectation. Don't expect something that they cannot offer you or give you. Just expect something that they can give to you. If you want them to be this or that and they cannot be this or that, then you just have to stop your expectation and expect and accept them for what they are. Then you will have no conflict in yourself. Then you can have compassion and loving kindness toward them. So don't expect anything from them. Your frustration comes from your expectation, not come from them. Not coming from them, not being able to do what you want them to do.
And last question from Tony Yap. Dear Thanachan, good evening. There is 5 conditions if break the 5 precepts. Every precept have 5 precepts if consider break the precept. Thank you.
I think you have to study the text. I know you know that first you have to have the intention to break the precept, and then you actually break the precept. Then this is considered breaking the precept. First you have to have the intention, and intention to drink alcohol, and you actually drink the alcohol. Then this is considered breaking the precept. I only know 2 conditions. I don't know about the other 3, but yeah. So, but if you happen to take you drink something and you thought it was water and it turned out to be alcohol, then this is not breaking the precept because you have no intention of drinking it. You just happen to think it is water, but only when you drink it, then you realize that, oh, this is not water. So you can either, if you already swallow it, then it's too late. But if you know before that, then you have to spit it out if you don't want to break the precept.
That's all, Thanachan.
Okay. Anybody else would like to ask any question? Okay, Ricardo. Go ahead.
Yes, I read teachings about the Buddha that taught a guy named Tuccio Potila that he called empty.
Yeah, Potila, empty.
Empty teachings. Yeah. Can you explain that teaching, please?
Well, the story about this monk is he studied a lot of scriptures. He know a lot of teaching of the Buddha, but he never applied it in the practice. So just studying the scripture itself does not eliminate the defilements in your mind. So every time the Buddha sees this monk, he say, "Oh, you're empty. You have nothing." You know. So in order to spur his his mind to start to think what the Buddha was trying to tell him. The Buddha was indirectly trying to tell him to go practice in order to have something, because merely studying the teaching itself doesn't give you anything yet. So after a while, he started to realize that he needed to practice. So he eventually went to look for some arahant to teach him. And he met a few senior monks who are arahant, and they refused to teach him because he said, you have more years in rope than me, so I cannot teach someone who is more senior. Why don't you go look for somebody else? So since no one else would accept, then he finally met a samanera, a novice, who also was an arahant. And so he asked for the novice to become his teacher. At first, the novice said, "Oh, I could not, because since other senior monks could not teach you, how could I teach you?" But then one of the senior monks said, "Why don't you have compassion for this monk and teach him?" So he then accepted this senior monk as his teacher, as his student. But before he can teach, he wants to test whether he really would follow his teaching or not. So he has to tell him to do things for him first, like cleaning his bowl, work for him, washing his robe, go fetch something for him, And when he find that this monk followed the instruction that the novice gave him, then he finally started to teach him the practice of vipassana, the practice of meditation. And once he started teaching, after a while, this monk became enlightened. This is briefly. You have to read the text itself to get all the detail. I think you have. It's called Potila. Potila. His last name is Potila. I'm not sure his first name is.
Tucho.
Yeah. Maybe you want to share with the rest of the people here, so maybe they can search and read. It's good because a lot of people study the scripture, and that's how they have become enlightened already. Nowadays, they don't see the need to meditate. They understand the Four Noble Truths. They know the three characteristics of existence. What they don't see is that they still have dukkha in them. They still have stress. They don't know that if you really know the Four Noble Truths, you know the three characteristics of existence, you shouldn't have any stress in your mind.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, anyone else would like to ask question, please?
We have Darren from Singapore.
Oh, Darren just came in. Darren, okay.
Hi, Ajahn. I have no question today. I just joining a session. Wish Ajahn well.
Okay. Did Alvin already been offered to ask the question? I forgot. You have?
Okay. Yes, Tanajan.
Okay, I think this is our regular Worshi. Gone. Evie? I think it sounds like Evie. No? Okay, Charles from Bangkok. Have you been asked to unmute your mic? Okay.
Is it okay? Okay.
Yes.
I just asked a follow-up question about the precept. But when, let's say, two persons really follow the precept, one take the ceremony at the temple formally. Oh, I take the precept and then I practice precept. Another one not go through the ceremony, but it's the same quality of the practice, right? Is the in terms of karma effect, is any different?
It's the practice that counts, not just what you do in the rituals. The ritual doesn't count.
It's no different, right?
No different.
Oh, but somebody say because when you go through the ceremony, you probably more commit, and then you're more alert in case you break the precept, you really feel that, oh, I should not. But somebody not go through the process may just do anything he or she wants, and then by chance only, right? Is there any different? No.
I think it's up to each individual.
Oh,
For some people, they might feel that they have to have some witness that they are committed to keeping the precepts. Then they will force them to stick to keeping the precept. But if you just tell yourself that I'm going to keep the 5 precepts today and nobody knows, then you might later on change your mind, or you might keep it halfway through and then you say, oh, I want to change my mind, since nobody knows anyway, right? But for somebody who will be resolute, it doesn't matter whether other people know or not. They know keeping the precept is good for them, and they just keep on. They don't need to go to tell somebody that I'm keeping the 5 precepts today.
I don't tell. Let's show off. Okay,
that's what you do with the rituals, and you're showing I'm keeping the 5 precepts.
No, I don't tell. I go through a ritual, but I don't tell anyone. Ajahn, another question about killing. Okay, also concern about precept. Today is a Chinese festival, right? We eat crab. I just have a question. Now, if eating crab, right? We buy the crab, we kill ourselves. There's one method, and then or in the market, I pick the crab and somebody kill it, or I just order the crab, fresh crab in a restaurant, they kill it, or I eat the crab already died or it's not fresh. Is there any difference in terms of karma effect of killing?
Yes. If you have anything directly to do to cause the animal to die, then this is considered breaking the precept. Either you kill it yourself or you ask somebody to kill it for you. But if you go to the market and buy something that's already dead, then you have nothing to do with that killing.
How about the restaurant? I order fresh fish or fresh.
Yes, you have something to do with the killing because you're the one who tells the restaurant to kill it for you.
Oh, it's better eat the frozen one.
Yeah, the frozen one is okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Yeah. Okay, another question about for us as a practitioner, do we really care about the progress, the improvement? Do we need to really, from time to time, see whether we improve or not? We just keep doing that. No need to worry about whether we're better than 1 month ago, whether we're better than 6 months ago. Yeah.
Well, what you should care about is the doing, and the progress will come. So you don't have to worry too much about the progress. What you have to worry about is the doing itself.
Okay. I mean, I keep, for example, I practice 2 hours a day. You keep doing it 2 hours. Don't reduce the time.
Or maybe increasing it to 3 hours to 4 hours. Okay. Eventually, you want to become a monk so that you can practice all day.
Yeah, it is a risk now if you keep doing that.
But if you get result, then you become inspired more to do more practice.
Yeah. Agree. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Anybody else would like to ask question? Please raise your hand.
Siddhartha first.
Siddhartha? Okay.
I'm sorry, Ajahn. I know I shouldn't ask a question, but I have a little uncertainty about keeping the precepts, since I'm often do walking meditation at night without lights and walking without lights currently. So I wonder whether I am breaking the precepts, since I know intellectually that I might accidentally kill some insects while doing the walking, which I can prevent if I choose to use torch or flashlight. Could you give some enlightenment in this area? Thank you.
Well, if you know that you're gonna hurt someone when there's no lighting, then you should use lighting to prevent from hurting someone. But if you think by not use lighting and doesn't hurt anybody, then you can walk in the dark. So you have to see the consequence of your action, whether it affects other beings or not.
Okay. All right, clear. Thank you, Thanajan.
Okay.
Next, Gokseng next.
Gokseng
Yes.
from Singapore. Gokseng.
Ajahn, not so much of a question, but just to inform Ajahn that these few days I just got one book. Venerable, the title is Venerable Akariyaman, by spiritual biography by Akariya Mahabhuva. So just not sure whether Ajahn, you are familiar with this.
Yes, this is the biography of Ajahn Man.
Yes.
Ajahn Man, and written by Ajahn Mahabhuva, Yongta Mahabhuva.
Yeah. So I was reading it halfway, and I was a bit surprised there were a lot of stories about the devas.
That's because Ajahn Man has this special psychic power. He could connect with the devas, and he gave Dhamma talk to the devas. Okay. A lot of Westerners or people in the more advanced country, when they read Buddhism, they don't expect to find out things about spiritual beings like devas and connection with this spiritual devas, because they normally themselves they're not able to connect, so they don't know whether this spiritual being really exists or not. But when you hear stories or teaching of forest tradition monks, you hear a lot of this, because many practitioners of the forest tradition has achieved these psychic powers. So, like, you have to use the Kalama Sutta to apply to what you heard, to what you hear. If you haven't yet proved it yourself, then you should not believe or disbelieve. You just should leave it alone. Because maybe you're blind, somebody else, they're not blind, so they can see more than what you can see. Okay, is this your question? You have no question, you just have comment about this thing.
I have a lot of faith, but at the same time, I was also a bit taken aback by the number of stories. So I have a little bit of doubts. Yeah, but just want to get an assurance from Ajahn.
Well, even the Buddha had connection with the devas, the spiritual beings. He taught his mother, who was a deva, for 3 months until she became enlightened. She became a Sotapanna. So as far as spiritual beings are concerned, they are real in Buddhism. Only because you only haven't yet met them. So you might be doubtful whether they really exist or not. But their existence doesn't require for you to know or to have access to. Because for your practice for the liberation from suffering, you don't need to know these things. So it's not important, But it's real, it's something that exists. It's just that you don't have the tools to see it yet, that's all. So just stick to your meditation for Ubekkha. You don't need to meditate to the point where you can achieve psychic powers. It's not necessary for your liberation from suffering. Okay.
Ajahn,
All right, Mandy, you raise your hand first. Mandy.
My question is it better to meditate 5 minutes every hour of the day or to sit down in one sitting?
It depends on what you can. If you can sit in 1 hour, it would be better.
Okay.
If continuous practice will give you better result. If you just do 5 minutes, it might not be enough to get you into jhana. But if you practice for 1 hour, then you might have the chance of getting into jhana that way.
Thank you.
But if you cannot, you can only practice for 5 minutes and then you no longer have the mindfulness to do it, then you cannot do the 1 hour thing. So it's not something that you can force yourself to do when you first starting. You have to have some technique, some means of helping you to continue on with your meditation. For instance, if you find that you cannot focus on your breathing anymore, and you might start to think about this and that, then you might have to use something like reciting the sutta to bring your mind into more focus. When I first started meditating, sometime when I started, I could not watch my breath. So I recite the Satipatthana Sutta, the whole sutta, which take about 40 minutes or something. And then when I finish, I find that I can continue on watching my breath. So the answer is the longer the better. The more the better, as far as meditation is concerned. Doesn't hurt you. It benefits you more than hurts you. Okay? All right, Felicia, Shan.
Ajahn, lay person practice at home can reach Sotapan. What about Takagami and Anagami?
You can reach any level anywhere. It's not the place. It's the Dhamma that you have, the wisdom that you have achieved, have developed. If you have developed the necessary wisdom, then you can become enlightened anywhere.
Okay.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody? Any Facebook? Facebook, okay.
We have 4 questions from Facebook, Ajahn. The first question is from Poleng Soon. Can the layperson teach Dhamma as for his wife? Thank you.
You can teach, but whether you can teach it effectively or not, that depends on your ability and what you really know. Because the Dhamma that you know might not be the real Dhamma yet. And when you teach it, it might not sound like Dhamma to the people who listen to you. So they might not get inspired or they might not benefit anything from your teaching. So to really teach Dhamma, you should first become enlightened yourself before you can teach the real Dhamma, the true Dhamma. If you're still studying and you're still practicing and you're still not there, then the Dhamma that you try to teach will not be real, will not be true.
Next question from Teng Ting Loon. What can I do during moments of despair when losing something in life that is very precious? How to drop my ego of wanting some aspect of my life to be fulfilled? Thank you.
Just meditate, recite the mantra, stop thinking. Then your mind will become peaceful and happy, and then you can then just accept the losses. Just meditate.
Next question from Poleng Soon. Can as Buddhist learning good teaching from other awakened teacher? Thank you.
Yes, if they are awakened, if they are enlightened, then you can learn a lot from them.
And the last question from Lee Wan. Hi, Ajahn. I would like to know if there is any fairness in life. I know some individuals who have a lot of wealth and seem to entertain themselves with the best possible. One individual is trading livestock as a living and seems to become richer and richer. At the same time, I have a friend who is very honest and has integrity, and yet is barely able to have ends meet. I heard a lot of Buddhists say that the rich person has good faith or good karma. I feel like the answer is oversimplified. How can someone who likes to show off wealth, look down on others, have better karma than a simple, honest working person? I wonder if you can provide some insight regarding this. Thank you.
Well, the way I look at life is that things happen to you because it happens to you. So if you can accept this, then you can be happy with that. But if you cannot accept, then you will always not be happy. So things happen to all of us, good, but sometimes good, sometimes bad. This is life. Anicca, it's anicca, impermanent. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Anatta, you cannot control this things that happen to you. So if you look at it from the point of the three characteristics of existence, then it makes sense. But if you look at from other point, then it doesn't make sense. Oh, it is not fair. But if you look from the point of the three characteristics of existence, then it's pretty fair. You get what you deserve. That's what I'm trying to say. We all get what we deserve. We reap what we sow. So what we are reaping are the products of our good and bad karma. This is the teaching of Buddhism. But you might not see it that way, so you might think it's not fair. But that's the way it is.
That's all,ท่านอาจารย์.
Okay. And if you want to be fair, then stop rebirth. Then you won't have to come and experience all this unfairness in life. Okay, Monica, Senyi. You have to speak louder.
Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So Ajahn, just to sort of just now, Ajahn mentioned that, like example, let's say if you meet with some problems, then we can use wisdom to solve it. So, for example, if let's say an anger arises and then you see the anger, once you see and then it sort of subsides. And another time maybe the anger arises and then you use Buddha to stop it. So the main aim is, if you can, obviously the anger doesn't arise, like we remain equanimous. But if let's say the anger does arise already, so we just do our best to shorten the time that we feel the anger.
Yes, you can use mindfulness or you can use wisdom. Depends on your ability. If you don't know how to apply wisdom, then you use mindfulness such as a mantra. But this will stop your anger temporarily concerning this particular subject, this particular situation. But if you can apply wisdom, then you will stop this anger permanently. This situation under this situation. By seeing the object of your anger as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Like someone did something wrong to you. If you have wisdom, you will say, well, you cannot force this person to do anything else. This is the way this person is, and this is what he did to you. So you just have to accept it. Once you accept it, then your anger will disappear.
Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So normally I'll try to use different ways, and it works differently each time.
Well, It's because you don't know how to use it properly. So it doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes you have to use anicca. Sometimes you have to use anatta. Sometimes you have to use dukkha. If you say, "Oh, this thing is causing you dukkha," so why bother? Throw it away. Have nothing to do with it. Then the dukkha will disappear.
Okay, thank you.
Like for instance, let me give you an example. If you run out of money and you cannot pay for your mortgage and your house will be repossessed, what can you do? You can be stressful and you want to cling to the house. But you say, okay, I can no longer pay my mortgage and they're gonna repossess the house, and let them do it. Get rid of it. Be a homeless person. Unless you'll be a happy homeless, then be a stressful homeowner.
It's true, Ajahn.
The point is we don't want to be homeless. That's why we become stressful trying to raise money to pay for our mortgage.
Or we've inherited the mortgage.
Well, you can give it away. You don't have to receive it. You can refuse to accept it. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
So you might have to try different ways. Sometimes you use anicca, sometimes you use anatta, sometimes you use dukkha. To let go of your attachment, to let go of your suffering.
Okay, I'll try different ways and see which one works well.
Yeah, because each situation is different. You cannot use the same technique for every situation.
Yeah, and sometimes like before you know it, actually it exploded already.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
I saw Karen.
Oh, Karen. Okay, go ahead, Karen.
Thank you. I hear so much since I started joining your group about Sotapanna, and I really don't understand what that is. Could you explain what a Sotapanna is, and is that a goal we're supposed to be shooting for?
Enlightenment in Buddhism is divided up into 4 stages. The first level of enlightenment is called Sotapanna.
Oh.
The second level is called Sakidagami. The third level is called Anagami. And the fourth level is Arahant. This is complete or full enlightenment at the 4th stage. So when you practice, you have to go up the ladder, like you're studying in university. You first get your bachelor, then you get your master's, then you go on to your PhD.
Yeah, I'm an undergraduate. So.
And the curriculum is you have to get rid of the fetters that bind you to this realm of existence. There are 10 of them, the 10 fetters. You might have to look up in the text, search for in the internet, the 10 fetters, which you have to use wisdom to, you have to use meditation and wisdom to be able to cut them out of your heart, out of your mind.
Okay, thank you. Because I'd heard of Anagami and Arahant. Anyway, I'm still learning all of these terms and what they are.
Yeah, they have achieved different level of ability to cut down their defilements. Okay. The fetters are considered to be defilements. There are 10 of them. And the Sotapanna can get rid of the first 3. And then the second level can minimize the third and the fourth fetters. And the third level can eliminate the fourth and fifth fetter completely. And there are 5 more left for the 4th level. The 6th to the 10th fetters. If you can eliminate the 6 to the 10 fetters, then you become a fully enlightened person. Your mind is completely free from stress. no stress can enter your mind.
Thank
Okay.
you. I like the way it's separated out. It makes it not seem so overwhelming. Okay, I only have to work on these three first.
Yeah. Okay. Study the text and then, namely the first one is the wrong view of seeing the self, the body as a self, seeing the body as a self, and seeing the thinking and the feeling as there's a self thinking, there's a self feeling, there's a self in the body. This is the wrong view, and you have to use wisdom to be able to see that they are just natural phenomena. The body is made up of the four elements, and the thinking and feeling are just mental phenomena. There's no self; they just come and go due to condition that cause them to arise and cease.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
And
okay,
go ahead.
In order to be able to see this, you have to be deep in meditation to see the thing happening inside your mind.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is this clear enough?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
and I just wanted to comment the story that was it Ricardo was talking
Yeah.
about, and you explained the story. Is that the same one where the young teacher tells him to get all muddy? He gets in the swamp.
Go into the water to fetch something for him, and then halfway through the novice say, "Oh, I changed my mind. I don't want it anymore." He wants to test the resolve and to see whether this monk get angry or not.
Yeah, that's a good story.
At his teacher. Because if you get angry at your teacher, then you don't want to study or learn from him anymore.
Right, that's a good story. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Kun La from Facebook.
We have 4 more questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์. First question from J.W. Lee. Thank you very much for your teaching, ท่านอาจารย์. I lost hope for attaining enlightenment in this very life. I cannot go to monastery to meditate as I used to since many years ago. I feel that staying at the monastery is very helpful, but now I am sick. My health condition is not suitable for staying at the monastery. Could you please kindly give some advice? Do I still can attain enlightenment if I practice at home, but I also need to work in order to gain income for my health expense? Thank you.
Well, even the Buddha's father could become enlightened when he was dying in his bed. So there's no limit to where you can become enlightened. Even on a sick bed, you can become enlightened. But with the Buddha's father, he had the Buddha as the tutor, who constantly be on his bedside to tell him what to do. The Buddha tell him to let go of your attachment to your body. Don't cling to your body. Let it die. And don't cling to your emotions, your thoughts. Stop it. Once he understood, then he could become enlightened even while he was about to die. So you can still become enlightened under any type of conditions if you have the Dhamma teaching as your guiding light.
Next question from Seo Chang. Ajahn, I feel some improvement in my meditation in terms of calmness. However, I feel I am not able to sit longer nowadays compared to previous. Mayท่านอาจารย์ guide me in this matter.
Oh, forget about the past. It's already gone. Stay in the present and concentrate your mind with mindfulness. That's all you need to do. Stop thinking about the past or stop thinking about the future. Stop thinking even when you're in the present. Just keep focusing on your meditation object. That's what you need to do. Then things will change for the better.
Next question from Poleng Soon. Our main learning of Dhamma is to achieve wisdom to reduce the greed, pollution, and aversion in our life. Is this correct?
Yes, before you can reach that point, you need to have mindfulness, you need to have samadhi. And before you can have mindfulness and samadhi, you need to have the precept to support your practice. So you need to do precept. And even if you don't have precept, then you need to have dana or charity to help you develop precept. Because it means that if you don't give to charity, it means you're still greedy. You still want more money. And your greed will then cause you to break the precepts. Because you know that if you don't break the precept, you don't get what you want. See? But if you stop your greed by giving to dana, giving the extra things that you have, you can reduce your greed. Once you no longer have the greed to have more than what you need, then you can keep the precept easily. So you have to practice from the bottom up to go to the top, not from the top down to the bottom. You don't start with a PhD degree. You start with your kindergarten courses, and you move up to your elementary, your secondary, your bachelor, your master. Eventually, you get to the PhD that way. So you should start giving money away. Try to live humble. Try to live an austere life. Don't try to live a luxury life, because when you live a luxury life, you need to have a lot of money. So you have to cheat, you have to lie in order to make lots of money that way. So the Buddha say, practice what you call contentment with your four requisites of living. Just have enough for your existence. No need to have more than that. And if you should have any extra, then you should give it away. Then this will prevent you from being greedy for money, for things. Because all you want is enough to exist. Then you'll find that keeping the precept will be very easy to do. And once you can keep the precept, then you have the time to go practice meditation. And when you practice meditation, you have a strong, calm, peaceful mind, a neutral mind. Then you can develop wisdom to see that everything is impermanent. Everything is not under your control. Everything will give you stress if you want to possess and keep them, because you will not be able to do so. So then you can let go of everything. This is wisdom, the highest one. But you have to start from the bottom up. Because if you don't, even if you study now about the three characteristics, you cannot do anything with it. Because you still greed for more money, greed for more things, then you cannot let go of your attachment to things. Okay.
Next question from Dhamma Jakarta, Buddhist Community Center. Vandami Ajahn, I would like to have 5 to 10 days retreat to improve my meditation. However, my wife doesn't agree due to my responsibility as a family man. What should I do, Ajahn? Thank you.
Take her with you. Tell her to go with you. The whole family go to the monastery. Take a retreat together. Simple, isn't it? But hard to do, because nobody wants to go to the monastery.
Next question from Poland soon. How to see somebody enlightened in the sense he is full of Dhamma?
How to see other people is very difficult. It's easier to see yourself. So try to see yourself becoming enlightened is easier.
Next question from Amanda Mandy Smith. Should someone seek legal justice for someone's wrongdoing to them or just practice? Thank you.
This is your question, Mandy. You want to repeat again yourself? No, you have to unmute your microphone first.
Okay. Should somebody seek legal justice for wrongdoings of another person to them.
Well, ideally not. If you want to have compassion and goodwill, then you just forgive that person who did wrong to you, because this will end all problem. There will be no retaliations. If you take legal action, then you might instigate more retaliation from your enemy.
Okay, thank you.
So the ideal way is to forgive and forget and move on. It's already gone anyway, right?
Yes.
What was done was already done. So it's better just to leave things alone and move forward, forget about it.
Thank you.
Because if you apply legal action, you can have stress from this action yourself also. And if you lose, then you will have more stress and more sorrow from losing this legal action.
Right.
And losing a lot of money at the same time.
Yes.
So why do it in the first place, right? Let it go. This is what we mean by radiating compassion or goodwill or metta. Not by chanting, but by actually doing it, by forgiving.
Do you
A
think that
lot of Buddhists think radiating compassion or metta means chanting. You don't do anything. It's just chanting. It's just teaching you how to do it. That's all. Did you want to add something else?
Would it? The thing is would it stop future harm to other people to have a person like jailed or something? You know.
Well, if that person wants to harm other people, who can stop him or her from doing it? Unless you kill him or her, that's all. But then he'll take another birth and come back and do it again anyway.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
So let things be naturally, okay? You just do things on your part to protect yourself.
Okay.
But as far as other people, who knows, maybe by you forgiving that person, it might change that person's character from being bad to be a good person. Say, there's compassion in this world, there's goodwill in this world.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Like the Buddha said that you don't end hatred by avarice action. You don't end hatred by hatred. You end hatred by loving kindness.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions from Facebook?
One more question from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์ Question from Tek Ting Loon. When I sit longer in meditation, my back hurts. What should I do? Thank you.
Well, change posture. Do walking. If you cannot sit, then do walking. If you cannot walk, then lying down. But make sure you don't go to sleep. That's all. So you can meditate in all postures. But the best posture is sitting posture. Okay, I see Belinda raising her hand. Okay, unmute your microphone.
Ajahn, this is a question in relation to Mandy's question about letting go with compassion. Because the mind is not enlightened, I find that after a year, there is still baggage of resentment. I do realize there's a sense of me, even though we exercise compassion, but there are still resentment and we know what we want to forgive. It's better for us to let it go. But there's this sense of still like there are still remnants of baggage inside. So
That's because
so I need tips.
The reason is that you don't see that you're the one who benefits from your actions. By forgiving, you're actually the one who benefits from this action.
Yeah.
because then your mind will have no hatred, no bad feelings. But if you still want to take little action, then your mind will still be stressful and angry. So actually, when you forgive, you're not benefiting the person who you forgive. You're actually benefiting yourself. If you can see this, then you will do it. Then you will forgive.
That's the insanity about the mind, where I feel sometimes we know we want to forgive, and we know to
You need to have equanimity before you can see the effects of forgiveness. Because if you don't have equanimity, if your mind is not neutral, your mind constantly craving for things, then you won't be able to see the benefits from forgiving. But when your mind is in equanimity, and you see that when you want something, you want to take revenge, it hurts the mind right away.
Yes. And I didn't take revenge, or I take it as if it's a karma. But there's still something, after a year, I realized that, hey, I still talk about it. So it could be more complicated, like a different, it could be just a resentment and to hold. So what are the tips, Ajahn, is apart, like we can meditate, and then are there tips like we give self-talk, like keep more time to ourselves?
Every time you think about something bad, you should stop it by using the mantra. Let's keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. If you can do this every time, then your bad thought will not arise in the future. Because as soon as it arises, you use Bhutto to stop it right away. Okay.
If another way, if I observe the body, I find that I tend to talk, and I tend to air my grievance. As long as I have opportunity or I feel comfortable to share with somebody, and I would repeat the same story like the broken tape recorder. So that part mindfulness is a big gap. Ajahn, I know it's unhealthy, and I like to solve this, but somehow the mind still keep. It's like some, like you say, anatta, not something that in my control that I want to. Apart from meditation, and all I can say is to go for a long retreat, probably. I'm not sure how to solve.
Well, where there is a will, there's a way. So set up a will. I shall do this. I want to do this. Once you have this, then you go after it. Resolution. Okay.
Thank you, Dad.
All right. Anybody else? Because I think we're running out of time tonight already. But if anybody really have some really important question and cannot wait until the next meeting, you're welcome. Kula, were you from Facebook? Okay.
One more question from Facebook from Poleng Soon. Can Vipassana be practiced without after Samadhi? Thank you.
Without Samadhi, Vipassana is useless. Yeah. It's not the real Vipassana. Yeah. So you need to have Samadhi to apply Vipassana to get rid of your dukkha, your suffering, your defilements. Okay. Well, I think that's about it for tonight. Thank you very much for your participation, and I hope this meeting will benefit you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you again next week at the same time. Thank you and goodbye.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thanks, Admin. Bye. See you all.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.